The post-Civil War era, 1865 to 1879. The United States ended the war with a depreciated inconvertible greenback currency and a heavy burden of public debt. The first question on the monetary agenda was what to do about the greenbacks. A powerful group of industrialists, calling for continuation of greenbacks, opposing resumption, and, of course, any contraction of money to prepare for specie resumption, was headed by the Pennsylvania iron and steel manufacturers. The Pennsylvania iron masters, who had been in the forefront of the organized protective tariff movement since its beginnings in 1820, were led here and instructed by their intellectual mentor, himself a Pennsylvania ironmaster, the elderly economist Henry C. Carey. Carey and his fellow iron manufacturers realized that during an inflation, since the foreign exchange market anticipates further inflation, domestic currency tends to depreciate faster than domestic prices are rising. A falling dollar and a rising price of gold, they realized, make domestic prices cheaper and imported prices higher, and hence function as a surrogate tariff. A cheap money, inflationist policy, then, could not only provide easy credit for manufacturing, it could also function as an extra tariff because of the depreciation of the dollar and the rise in the gold premium. Imbibers of the Carey gospel of high tariffs and soft money were a host of attendees at the famous, quote, Carey Vespers, evenings of discussion of economics and politics. Influential Carey disciples included economist and Pennsylvania ironmaster Stephen Cowell, Eber Ward, president of the Iron and Steel Association, John A. Williams, editor of the association's journal, Iron Age, Representative Daniel Morrell, Pennsylvania iron manufacturer, I. Smith Homans, Jr., editor of the Bankers Magazine, and powerful U.S. Representative William D. Kelly of Pennsylvania, whose lifelong devotion to the interest of the ironmasters earned him the proud sobriquet, quote, Old Pig Iron. The Carey Circle also dominated the American Industrial League, which spread the Carey doctrines of protection and paper money. Influential allies in Congress, if not precisely Carey followers, were the radical leader, Representative Thaddeus Stevens, himself a Pennsylvania ironmaster, and Representative John A. Griswold, an ironmaster from New York. Also sympathetic to greenbacks were many manufacturers who desired cheap credit, gold speculators who were betting on higher gold prices, and railroads, which as heavy debtors to their bondholders, realized that inflation benefits debtors by cheapening the dollar, whereas it also tends to expropriate creditors by the same token. One of the influential Carey disciples, for example, was the leading railroad promoter, the Pennsylvanian Thomas A. Scott, leading entrepreneur of the Pennsylvania and the Texas and Pacific Railroads. One of the most flamboyant advocates of greenback inflation in the post-war era was the Wall Street stock speculator Richard Shell. In 1874, Shell became a member of Congress, where he proposed an outrageous pre-Keynesian scheme in the spirit of Keynes's later dictum that so long as money is spent, it doesn't matter what the money is spent on, be it